Hello everyone, it's Marie, and today I will show you how to make this wonderful bracelet. This bracelet is made from these elements, and first I will show you how to make such elements. Then how to connect them together into a bracelet. And finally, how to make such a clasp. In addition to this bracelet, I made this ring. Perhaps a little later I will make a tutorial, but now I decided just to show you it. Maybe this design will inspire you. It's quite simple, but it looks very nice. So, let's begin. To make this bracelet I used 11 size Miyuki Delica beads, white color and mix of colors. I will leave their full names and numbers in the description below. If you like this color combination and can find this mix on sale, I think you can pick up it by yourself. Now I will show you what colors it contains. You will also need 10 size beading needle, clear beading thread and scissors. You can find more information about the materials I used in the description below. To make each element of the bracelet you will need a thread about 80 cm long, and first we need to pick up 30 white beads. Put them down and leave short end not so long, it should be just enough to make a knot. Then we need to pass the needle through all beads, but from opposite side, like this. This is the ring we should get. Now we need to tie a few knots. I usually do 3 and then cut off the short end. Now we need to pass the needle through some beads. For the next row, we always pick up one bead from our beads mix, then skip one bead and pass the needle through the next one. Next, we pick up one bead again, skip one bead and pass the needle through the next. And we need to repeat these steps until the end of this row. We pick up one bead, skip one and pass the needle through the next. I pick up beads from a beads mix in random order, just the way I like it, but I want to warn you not to use a lot of black beads, so that the bracelet does not look dirty. So, for complete this row, we need just pick up one more bead. We pick up one bead, skip next, and to the next we pass the needle. Now we need to go to the next row. To do this, we pass the needle into the next bead, like this. And now we're ready to make the next row. For this row, every time we need to pick up two beads from beads mix and pass the needle through one protruding bead. We pick up two beads and go with the needle through first protruding bead. And we need to repeat this until the end of this row. So, in order to complete this row, we just need to place the last pair of beads. We pick up two beads and pass the needle through nearest protruding bead. Now we need to go to the next row. For this, we go with the needle through the next two beads, like this. And we're ready to continue. For the next row, we will need to pick up every time two beads and pass the needle through two nearest protruding beads. Continue this until the end of the row. For this row we just need to add 2 beads. We pick up 2 beads and pass the needle through 2 nearest protruding beads. And now, in order to go to the next row, we pass the needle into 2 next beads. We are ready to continue. In the next row, we will use only white beads. We need to pick up 2 beads each time and pass the needle through the 2 nearest protruding beads. Continue these steps until the end of the row. In order to complete this row, we need to pick up 2 more white beads and pass the needle through 2 nearest protruding beads. And step up to the next row. For this, we pass the needle through 2 next beads. And we are ready to continue. The next row is the last, and for this row we will collect 3 white beads each time and pass the needle through the nearest protruding beads. These are white. Continue doing this until the end of the row. Our first element is almost ready. We just need to put 3 last beads. Now we need to make a few knots and then cut the thread. it's ready, and next I'll show you how to connect these parts with each other. First, we will need to take a new thread, the same long as the previous one, and then pick up 30 beads. Then we need to go through this piece with a thread with beads, like this. And then pass the needle through all of these beads, but from opposite side. Now we need to make a few knots and cut the short end, as we did it before. Then we need to make the same steps as we did with the first piece. So, I made the second element. The third and subsequent ones are done in the same way. We make the number of pieces that we need until the bracelet is the length we need. The next element will be attached like this. We connect each subsequent element to the previous one. And next I'll show you how to make a clasp. So let's begin to make a clasp. We take a new thread and put on it one bead from the beads mix. Put it down and then pass the needle through this bead, but from opposite side. It will be enough to fix our start of beading. Then we need to collect 12 white beads. And again one bead from a mix of beads. This is how it should turn out. So now we need to pick up one bead from beads mix. Then skip one bead and pass the needle through the next, like this. Then we need to pick up one white bead. Then skip one and pass the needle through the next bead. So, when the thread comes out of the colored bead, we will need to collect one bead from the mix of beads. In other cases, we will collect one white bead. This will give us a nice colored border around our clasp. Then we need to skip one bead and pass the needle for the next bead. We have completed this row, and now our thread is coming out of the colored bead. So we need to pick up a colored bead and then pass the needle through the first protruding bead. Then we collect white beads to the end of this row, that is until the thread comes out of the colored bead. We need to continue in the same way until we have 5 colored beads at the bottom and top. This is what we should get. Now we need to fold this piece and sew the two sides together. You need to sew in a zigzag through the protruding beads, from the bottom up. So the first part of our toggle clasp is ready. Now we need to make a second one that will attach to the bracelet. First, we need to make that the thread comes out in the middle of this element. Now we need to pick up one white bead, skip one, and through the next pass the needle. And again we pick up one white bead, skip one, and pass the needle through the next. Next we need to make a turn. To do this, we collect one bead and pass the needle through the protruding bead that we just put. And again, we collect one bead and pass the needle through the protruding bead. Next, I will make the bottom and top rows with colored beads, and the middle with white. This is how it should work out. We continue in this way until the length of this element reaches the length we need. Next, I will show you what length I got. The second part of our clasp is ready. This is the length I got. It's enough to make a clasp. The width at the top and bottom is 17 beads. Now we need to attach this clasp to the bracelet. We need to thread the clasp through the last element of our bracelet. And now we need to attach this part. Let's zigzag along the protruding beads. Almost done. Now we need to secure this bottom part a little better and then hide the thread in beads and then cut off the rest of the thread. We also need to hide this short end in beads. This is the clasp on the finished bracelet. It is very comfortable, quite reliable and looks pretty with this bracelet.